My Latino identity is very important. So I think the Latino experience and identity is not fixed in place in our country or in our state. I think it's constantly evolving. It reaches into its past, but it also has a strong desire to create new realities. Carlos Mariani is a state representative in the state of Minnesota, a Latino, a father, a son, a person who cares about people in our state. And I've served here for 32 years. I think the thing I like most about Minnesota and Minnesotans is a level of kindness, of curiosity, a spirit of building things and creating space. Doesn't always happen everywhere in the state, but it happens enough that it makes me really appreciate the culture that we have in our state. Latinos are a part of this state and this state's history, are a critical component, part of this state's success, and that it has been for many generations. I think it's really important that all Minnesotans understand the long relationship and presence of Latinos in the state of Minnesota. On the west side where I live, my neighbors are third, fourth, fifth generation Mexicanos whose great-grandparents came to this state over 100 years ago to make sure that they can earn a decent living, and in the process of doing that, strengthening the agricultural and manufacturing base of our state. So it's a powerful relationship between Latinos and the rest of the state, and it's important that all Minnesotans acknowledge and respect and honor the incredible sacrifices and ways in which Latinos have been involved in the development of this powerful state. In Minnesota, we're not typically, quote unquote, a Latino state. We're not California, Florida, but we have a very dynamic community here that often, many times, has been made invisible and not seen. And so part of my role, part of my responsibility is to make sure that our people are seen, we are heard, and we're incorporated into the big decisions that are making because we are a part of this state. My involvement in community engagements really began at a very young age. I think first through a process of being aware of things that were happening around me and trying to understand them. The riots in 1968 in Chicago after Dr. King was assassinated, I was 11 years old. And it made an incredible impression on my mind then as my neighborhood literally burned down to the ground. People were killed, a lot of violence, and I remember thinking, I need to understand what's going on and getting involved to make sure that bad things wouldn't continue to happen. In my whole life, from a young person all the way through college, I was always involved in community dynamics with that spirit, that sense of responsibility. As a young organizer on the West Side, did some work involving gangs and organizing positive youth activities, and that I think really attracted Macalester College to me. My relationship with the state of Minnesota really began at the end of my high school years in Chicago, where I grew up. I was recruited by Macalester College to attend in this state that was far away from Illinois, but came and fell in love with this wonderful state. My work has always involved reaching out and building relationships with Latinos is critically important for our success. Accepting and working and acknowledging the differences that exist among Latinos, among Hispanos. We're a very diverse community here. Puerto Ricans and Mexicans and Central Americans. For many, many generations, these communities were not involved in any of the decisions making our laws in our state. So part of my role is build strong relationships to make sure that folks are involved, they're informed, and that they're taking part in being heard and giving advice to their government, and therefore participate much more strongly as citizens. The best recommendation I would offer for my fellow Latinos looking to be involved in public service and serving in similar ways as I have is be part of a community, be involved in what's happening there, in building goodness, and out of that begins the process, I believe, of serving well in public. My name is Carlos Mariani. I'm a proud Latino, and I'm a member of the Minnesota House of Representatives.